I know for myself, it took me like a good 2 or 3 years to even start landing anything. And I think for most of the Nordic kids, it was kind of the same, but for Torstein, it was pretty much the first year that we were in the backcountry, he was stomping everything. He had a lot of natural talent. He was so good at riding park, and his tricks were so fine-tuned that he just adapted to the backcountry super quick. Yeah, it was probably that out of all of us, like Ika, me, and Eero, Niemela, I think for sure Torstein adapted the quickest because he was landing tricks right away. That was really impressive to me, I remember.
I think he has a lot to prove to himself. I don't think he really cares what anyone else thinks. It's always been about proving things to himself. And for me, obviously, I'm just, I'm a photographer along for the ride. It's actually kind of nice because you're just like, all right, you're gonna do what?
I remember at the time, we were kind of frustrated that DC didn't hire more filmers, because it's always tough if you go to the backcountry and you have 4 guys or 5 guys in a crew, there's not gonna be a lot of landings left. So Torstein kind of bringing his own filmer around, and he was putting his own money into it. Like it wasn't paid by DC, so I thought that was cool. Like he actually invested in himself, and took a chance. And obviously you get a lot more footage when you have your own filmer around, and I think that was smart. I think now if you look back, probably everybody should have done that.
Absinthe Films really got on my radar. The first one I got was Vivid, and the next one I think that I got was Pop. And that's when, like my mind started exploding on, like Rice came on the scene and really started like, oh, you can go like 3 times as big. Like, it's like what's been done, it's cool and all, but like you can go like 3 times as big as that. Yeah, Roman DeMarchi, Mueller, and Freddie K. I was a huge Freddie K fan. Standard Films, around white balance, and that whole the whole industry at that point was like, that was so sick to witness as a little kid.
Torstein and Haldor had some really good sessions. We would always build these park jumps in the spring. A lot of times it was at Alpine Meadows when Torstein was filming with us, and we'd build these jumps in the springtime, and Torstein would just go off. He would just him and Haldor would just push each other and just do some really sick tricks.
Alpine killed it for us. They built this spine feature with hip landings on the sides, going over though, like hitting it as a jump. Good amount of airtime, just like sick feeling, soft landing. Everybody stomping tricks left and right. Good times.
We hired Kirk Bereska to do follow cams, who a lot of people are probably familiar with. His follow cam work was some of the, before Gimbal God, he was doing the really, jump in the kickers with the snowboarders right next to him, and a lot of times holding a big steady cam rig, not just a GoPro. So Kirk was just a major, he helped bring a lot of the footage to life, I'd say, with Torstein, being able to jump the kickers right next to him and Haldor.
Pretty much the best session ever. We say that at the end of every session. This was the best session ever, though.
It's always really cool to watch these guys progress from barely know how to drive a snowmobile to where Torstein now is just a total badass on a sled. He's way better than I am. And just watching Torstein in the backcountry, read the terrain from, knowing where little trannies are, and what there might be pepper underneath or a tree, or where's the takeoff. There's so much to backcountry riding, and it's just cool to watch these guys learn the variables and the potential dangers and figure it all out, to where Torstein now is just fully proficient and just, he makes the calls. That was cool. A couple years ago I was shooting for Shredbots for him, and he just invited me out to shoot, and it was cool. I just kicked back, and he was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm like, cool. I just set up, and then he's, I'm gonna do that. I didn't even have to think. I just set my camera up and hit the trigger. So it was cool. I feel fortunate to be able to watch these guys progress.
I guess Well, he's got like such a good work ethic and then add that with the confidence. I guess he must have so much confidence from hitting like massive park jumps that he's like, get out in the backcountry and it's like, this is like, it's so soft. What's gonna go wrong? You know what I mean? Like, I guess I've never really talked to him about it, but he's just like, anything he does is just like, it never looks like there's a doubt that he's not gonna nail it. I think when we first met him, he came across as a bit cocky, but I actually think it's a confidence level. Like it's confidence, not cocky. He's just like really confident in himself and everything he does. He's a bit of an artist. Like he oozes confidence.
He just wants to snowboard now and like enjoy life as much as he can. That's like I don't know if that's the way he thinks, but that's the vibe I'm getting when I'm with him. He's just like, this is the thing that I love the most. I'm just gonna like make the most out of it and enjoy it as much as I can.
Torstein would drive the jump. He would drive what was possible, and his vision for that would kind of dictate some of the shooting scenarios, and it would pull other riders out of their comfort zone or they felt like they didn't have a strong enough voice. Most of the time, in my opinion, when that happened, it was because he was growing things. He was pushing things past where they had been, and that makes people uncomfortable. And he had that vision. He wanted everyone to play. He wanted everyone to be included, but he was making things so consequential sometimes that some guys didn't feel that good about playing. And that happens, but he did that to, scratch the itch that he had to push himself and push snowboarding further and further and further. And, it's like, get on the train, let's go. And if you don't want to get on the train's still going, and there it went.
He has a vision, and you're there for his vision, and that's the plan. Like, there's no, and it's sometimes like hard for certain people. For me as well, it's like hard to be in that so structured base where I like to like be more loose, and he doesn't like being on a loose program. He wants to be pretty on point. This is where we're going, this is what we're hitting. And pretty much 9 out of 10 times that works better than the loose program, but sometimes the loose program is a little more fun.